I am. There it is. I thought I turned it back on, but I turned off the microphone again. This game seemed pretty good, so I kind of want to play it. I love match 3 games, and I saw that it was a match 3/strategy game, which is that's quite a combo. Also, Daft recommended it yesterday, and we love Daft here. We love Daft and his suggestions, even if he wants me to play games like Shenmue or uh hang on, what's another game that he recommended recently that was to entirely just make me suffer? I'm trying to recall. If you think about it, this game is exactly like Shenmue. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all, actually. I guess it would be comparable, but I don't think it's like if you go genre, if you have to zoom out until you get to like, yeah, this is a video game and all video games are like Shenmue. It's not, I'm trolling. Damn it. Maybe I should maybe I should add an animated emote that's aware into the troll face. That seems like it could be a fun one. Debated. Debated is a good one too. But I love the idea of the aware face rather than morphing into the sad, just like the big smiley morphing into a troll face instead. I don't know Twitch lore. Debated is a troll emote. You got it in one. Anyways, I kind of want to make a YouTube video about this one because this game has some crazy steez. So I'll probably try and put something together with that. Anyways, so today we're checking out. Start playing so I can hear the jazzy tunes. Yes, the music in this game seems pretty good. So today we're checking out Titanium Court. It was recommended to me by a good friend to Daft with Prep. So let's check it out. We'll just pop right in. A man steps onto stage and taps a microphone. Good evening. Before we begin the game, there are a few announcements. First, due to unexpected circumstances, the part of the player will be performed by an understudy. A couple of audible groans and one muffled boo erupt from the audience. Now, there's no need for that. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse and I can guarantee that she'll impress you. She may not have time to memorize her lines, but well, neither have any of you. The audience laughs. Second, we'd like to warn you that this is a production that this production features a significant amount of obscenity. But before all the parents in the audience begin covering their children's ears, know this. This stage is enchanted such that the obscenities can only be heard by those of sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And finally, the writing room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script before this performance. They are working on it as I speak, so it is my pleasure to announce that tonight's performance is also a race. Who will win? The writers furiously working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question, but I can announce that the race begins now. That's a fun effect. We hope you enjoy the game. Where should you start? You are walking through the woods. And then suddenly Shia LaBeouf. When the world around you shattered. Ah, yes, the match 3 elements. This was both alarming and inconvenient. Isolated on a lone stretch of ground, you were transfixed as the broken landscape began to rearrange itself. Your eyes followed trees and hills, collapsing in lines of 3, as if the forest you knew were a knot becoming carefully untangled. You dared not move from your position, as the ground beneath your feet quivered in anticipation of shattering further. Give me the long matches. You passed the time this way for who knows how long. I love the different variation on the sound effect too. Like this is some artful stuff. I love what's going on here. Oh, I love that it's also giving me matches if I don't know what I'm doing. I appreciate that at the very least. Until the court slid into view. At first, you weren't sure you could trust your eyes. But there it was, a great shining structure among the roiling landscape. Something stable and enclosed. A shelter. You kept your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside its windows. Surprisingly, the court appeared able to move freely through the broken landscape, disregarding lines of 3 as it approached your position. And just as it came near, the shattered landscape lurched. With little warning, the forest snapped back together as if someone had pulled the knot of reality tight once again. This music is... I love what's going on with this. Except by now, it wasn't the forest you knew. It was hardly even a forest. You stood, stretched, and began the hike towards the court. A.P. Thompson presents. Later, while the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you sought out a more isolated part of the hall. An empty table near an exit where no one would pay you much mind. A sound plan, except... The hall was soon overflowing with people, and your table was no exception. It reminds me a lot of Hotline Miami, funnily enough. Ooh, I can see that comparison, actually. The young man seated to your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in a society, how you preferred to make your bed, those sorts of subjects. Ooh, he's got some... I love that lean. Just... It's got some pizzazz to it. Eventually, he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court. Ellipses. Which answers my question quite thoroughly while raising many more, he says as you conclude your tale. But forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there is a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. The people within the court were earnest but odd. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and the strange circumstances outside, except... They spoke mostly in riddles and nonsense, didn't they? They did. Find out where we are. Man resting in the shade of the wall. Woman in a helmet doing her taxes at a picnic table. A pair in front of a blackboard discussing magic, and a small cat bathing in the sun atop the walls. Yeah, let's talk to the cat. You know we gotta talk to the cat. Said a small cat, meow. Ah, your questions are numerous, but inconsequential, for they miss the current crisis. Meow. What crisis? Why the crisis wherein my dinner is late? Meow. It is so late, in fact, that I'm not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I invented in a fugue of hunger. Meow. All other societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. All cats is the same. Very true. Please, stranger, might you fill my bowl, thus ending this ravenous standoff. A woman behind you laughed. Oh, don't listen to him. He's been fed twice today already. All cats is the same. Next, you. Hold on, are you seriously going to tell me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yes, you are, because if he lets you proceed uninterrupted, he'll learn that many of these people played a part in what happened next. Fine, fine. Let's talk to the woman doing taxes. Said the woman, I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't even figured out where we aren't. She gestured at a stack of maps on the table behind her. We're not in any of those places. Or at least we weren't. Who knows if that's true now, that the tide has come in. You attempted another tactic, hoping to glean some information. Perhaps she could tell you at least the name of this place? Oh, we just call it the court. Its full name is the Court of... I forget. Something like the Court of Aluminum, but it starts with a T. The Court of Tungsten? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I'm new here, and I'm bad with names, but at least I can give you mine. I'm Robin. She held out her hand, which you shook as you introduced yourself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should try to sort this out before the tide settles again. All right. Interesting characters so far. Pair in front of a blackboard discussing magic. Sure, I love magic. What's your guys' favorite color? I'm gonna guess you guys are blue-white players. That's just my hunch. There appeared to be a seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard. A seminar on magic, if you understood the text on the blackboard correctly. Okay, so first you take a metaphor, and then you stretch it really thin, right? Right. Like really thin. So thin you forget its original purpose. Then you inflate it. Right, just inflate the metaphor. I prefer to use my lungs for that. Then, as it's inflating, you twist it. Like, hang on. Like so. You still following? I think so. And, hold on. Ta-da! There, it resembles a dog, a delight for children and such. Ah, okay, so what happened to the metaphor? It's a lovely little balloon dog now. I see. They seemed a bit busy, so you left them to it. That's... that is magic. Wordplay is magic. A man resting in the shade of the wall. Said the man, Whoa, pal, before you ask me any more questions, you gotta know my deal. My deal is that I can only answer questions you haven't asked. So as to where we are, no can do. Sorry, can't tell you. Wordplay is devilry. Anyone who says puns is evil. That's true. Never trust a wordsmith. But what are we doing? Oh man, we're missing a court of fairies on a quest to find our missing queen. He looked to both sides, then said, So let me know if you see her. Just don't ask me where she is. All right. What did the outside of the court look like from atop the walls? Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outward. Perhaps there was something you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. To the contrary, conditions outside the walls were even stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape has now melted away. The court stood alone amid a void. But not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround. Much of the topography was familiar to you. You could identify fields, water, woods, and hills. But there was something else to see. A menacing group of other courts were also part of the landscape. You were not alone in noticing these... Ink. Someone shouted, The war! The war! The war is here! Someone else, That can't be! Puck said no wars until we find the queen! Then perhaps you should explain that to them! Surrounded by the enemy on all sides and bereft of the obvious course of action, the people of the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered the first prayer. I genuinely wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray they would fade into obscurity. Get faded. Wow, I didn't expect that to work, but thanks. The woman named Robin offered the next prayer. My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. Our time is much better spent steering the course. Remember, their soldiers cannot cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in. Just want me to... There, now that river protects us from nearly half of the field. Hills should also slow their advance, so for my next prayer... The next prayer did not belong to Robin. The next prayer belonged to the cat. Meow. So long as we're making demands of God, then my wish, as ever, is to be fed. Be fed. Psst, hey. You probably didn't notice, but something just happened over here. What happened is, by matching fields, the court just acquired more food. Similarly, other parts of the battlefield can be matched to earn water, logs, or coin? None of those fairies in the court will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of the user interface. Incredible. But I am a secular tooltip. I fear no god. I will do my best to provide you with this vital information. You're welcome. Alright. Yes, more of that, please. Feed my cat. As always. They're so hungry. I fear no god. Yes. Robin then bemoaned the loss of the moat. And may we face even more of the enemy than before. Why must I bother? The scholars at the blackboard now chimed in. We've identified the most strategically sound position. This spot right here. If we just steer over there carefully, we should be just fine. Sitting pretty. But Robin interjected. Stop, look at the clock. It's almost low tide. We have time left for only one more move. Hello again. So, the clock and the time left Robin alludes to is, in fact, this unassuming progress bar on the edge of your vision. Much like life, every move you make will deplete some of your remaining time. If we have only one prayer left, what do you suggest we might ask for? So, we might as well pray for a miracle. Well, let's make a miracle then. Well, that's a start. Apologies, but another explanation from me, your humble tooltip, is in order. In previous move, chained multiple matches together. Because of this, you have earned some bonus time. The carries of the fort, this may as well be a miracle. Is there any chance we could do that again, whatever that was? But there was no such chance. The next prayer would be the last one. Incidentally, the next prayer also belonged to you. Unsure of what any of this really meant, you imitated the people around you and made a pointless decision. Let's say this one. The battlefield snapped together as the court snapped to attention. Places, everyone! Windows were shuttered, doors were slammed, large swaths of people emerged from further inside and formed a line near the gates. A tap on your shoulder. One of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room, if you have a free hand. Along with the scholars, introduced to you as Hop and Skip, you sorted through large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. Check the tag on that, would you? Make sure I put it together properly. Click and hold. Farmer. Working fairy gathers food from the fields. If it looks correct, feel free to hand it out. You handed out the bundle of farmer's apparel to the first person in line. Unperturbed by the idea of harvesting wheat in the middle of a battle, they whistled as they marched out the front gate. Now do another. All right. Now see if this one fits anybody. Soldier, offensive fairy, attacks the enemy. Sure. You handed a bundle of armor and weapons to the next person in line. She tested the weight of the weapon in her hand. I haven't had any training, so I'm just planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. After this minimal preparation, the scholars considered their work finished. I'd place our chance... Hang on. I'd place our chances somewhere between abysmal... Somewhere near abysmal, but I'm afraid this is the best we can do. A small mercy, at least, that the queen isn't here to witness this. And so you waited with the others... Waited with the others... for the battle to commence. Hello, I must pester you one more time before I take my leave. Observe, this is the undo button. Use it to change your mind as many times as you wish before starting the battle. However, the official editorial position of this tooltip is that you are liable to lose no matter how many times you change your mind presently. When you're ready to lose, press the play button to proceed to the battle. Now, I will leave you in peace. Thank you, tooltip. But, should you ever desire the company of your loyal tooltip, all you need to do is click and hold over any button or tile, and I will do my best to explain it to you. Thank you, tooltip. Let's go get rocked then. This music goes so hard. It's got some crazy vibes. Uh-oh, our soldier has become deceased. And we are getting absolutely rocked. Just like the Titanic. Where? Dead 4. Okay. Ellipses. And then, sometime later, as the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is beside himself with laughter. Okay, so our court, caught off guard by a sudden war, stumbled behind enemy lines, made a token attempt at resistance, and was summarily toppled. Do I have that right? Yes, that does appear to be an accurate summary. Well then, I am certainly glad I slept through that. As you look at your surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your own story makes little sense now that you think on it. How did you... Your companion pats your arm. Don't worry about it. If the court couldn't withstand physical destruction, we wouldn't last 5 minutes within the pull of the tide. But enough of that. It's about time I made some introductions. As you've narrowly avoided learning, this place is called Titanium Court. I love that I can do tooltips on everything. A bush, a tree with refined courtly manners. Stairs, a hybrid model allowing both ascent and descent. That's... I gotta always check out what they have to say with this. Meanwhile, I have the honor of being the steward of the court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies call me Goodfellow. I'm chief advisor and friend eternal to our fair queen. As fancy as that sounds, in practice it means he's unemployed. One of the scholars, the man named Hop, has approached your table. He appears to have had a drink or two, or 4. He pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial posture. Guess the queen stood us up, eh, Goodfellow? Lucky for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry showing the court would make. But on the plus side, we can continue draining her wine cellar. Now, are you going to help me with that, Goodfellow, or are you just going to stare at me? I don't mind either way. Puck, staring at the scholar, mouth agape, slowly inhales and pinches his nose. What fools these. How drunk are you, Hop? The queen is right here. I've been speaking with her for the entire feast. Record scratch. That's... The pop-ups just add so much charm. Hop blinks, looks at you, looks at Puck, turns bright red. Oh, huh. I see it now. That calls for Her Majesty's finest vintage. I'll be right back. As Hop makes a quick exit, you look steadily at Puck and shake your head. There's no denying it now, not after the tale you've told me. If you'd like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. Yeah, we kind of are the head of the feast hall, right? Anything interesting here? Nope. Okay. Puck smiles. Now, if I may conclude my introductions, let me introduce the court to your majesty and likewise. He stands up and addresses the entire hall as he says, Long absent, the Queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt and dessert is served. Let's go! Yeah! Yippee! To your left, Hop returned with an armful of glasses and bottles. And about time too, good fellow. Did you tell her about the war yet? Titanium Court. That's a really charming intro. That is an extremely charming intro. And then, just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. You're in charge of the war now, Your Majesty. You should be just fine. Remember everything we've taught you about magical warfare. Blinking slowly, you remind them that at this exact moment, they have taught you roughly nothing about magical warfare. Ah, good. She remembers quite clearly. While the field is broken, arrange it to your advantage. Consult the ever-changing map or inspect our units. Well, let's look at the map, I guess. Is that a sign? Pumpkins? Okay. You don't know what any of this means. Nope, not at all. Farmer and soldier. Okay. Well, let's do some rearranging then. Some pretty obvious pairings to make. Is it better to go in a... Wait, hang on. Is it better to go vertically or horizontally? I do not know. Enemy, match for solitude. Quick to travel on foot, a bit flammable. A stump. A seat announcing new beginnings. The soapbox of the natural world. Titanium Court, home for now. Can swap without making a match. That's convenient. Hill, very slow to travel on foot, not flammable. Fields are very flammable. Okay, well, let's do some matching. Ideally, we can get some multi-matches, but that doesn't appear to be in the cards right now. I love match 3 games. I have played through Honey Pop. I know that will typically have people laughing at you, but I thought it was fun. I was like, ooh, match 3 game / dating sim type deal? Sure, sign me up. It's okay, I won't laugh at you because I don't know what it is. It would deserve some laughter. It's that dating sim / match 3 game that is notorious for also being pornographic. I did not play through the pornographic version. I will have that stated. I just played it and I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. Anyways, let's make our final matches. This is definitely why I've never heard of it. It was a little more popular around like the 2015, 2017 era. Low tide. Make preparations for the coming battle. Listen, I have no room to judge anyone as I've played DMMD. Yeah, maybe maybe not room for judgment on that one. Let's get our soldiers and then as many farmers as possible, I guess. Sure, play it out. This is a lot of palaces. Enemy palaces. Acquiring so much bread. Jenga tower toppling. Fortunately, we don't have a whole lot of enemies spawning, huh? Stop. Well, having now achieved some kind of victory in the war, you wonder if someone in the court might help you return home. It would be our pleasure if you can show us the way. Also, that was only one battle. There are many more to come, if my notes are to be trusted. Okay, well, if you understand this map correctly, even if it even is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage just ahead. Perhaps if you can reach those signs, you'll learn more about where you actually are, along with how to get home. And to reach them, we have merely been swept forward by the tide. As we have been all along. Convenient. Okay, so we do need to do a couple of battles. Storage unit? It looks a lot like the one you've rented in the past. A storage unit? Alright. Can we get multiple matches here? Perhaps it would be wise to get us in the most defensible position here. And then try and make something work from that. Maybe we can get the storage unit next to us too. We'll achieve a couple of miracles along the way. The multi-matches giving us so much more time is really nice. Okay, we're pretty well defended here. At least with all the water here. Do we need more? We'd need more water for farmers, right? Though no, that's not in any way what I'd describe as cute. Yeah, I don't think DMMD is cute, to say the least. Can we get some multi-matches here? It doesn't appear so. I've just made my position worse. Oops. Okay, I continue to make it worse. That's not good. This track goes hard. Okay. Classic match 3. I've gotten myself into a corner. I guess we go with the forest here. It's so Hotline Miami. It's pretty Hotline Miami. I guess just another mine here. All right. Make preparations for battle. What's in the storage unit? You're quite curious about what you might find inside the storage unit, but it's locked. Okay, yeah. Well, let's get as many soldiers out as possible. And then just, well, hang on. We'll do 2, 2. That sounds good. I think this will be good enough. Commence the battle. Get them, my soldiers. Topple their forces. While my farmers acquire more bread. You know, I was a big Warcraft 3 person back in the day. Oh good, my soldiers are just toppling everything. And I'm taking some damage. Okay, we're one step closer. Topple. Yes, topple their forces. I really need water for farmers. And I desperately need more wood. So I guess we'll try and get as much of this as possible. There we go. Get some time back. A pumpkin. Periodolic pumpkin. A plant possessing a friendly false face. Yeah, kinda. I don't like our position here. Topple, kill, yes, yes. We definitely need to do a lot more killing here. Ideally, we can get rid of as many soldiers as possible, because this is a little bit messy. There we go. Okay, we're in a much better spot now. Continue to make space and, yeah, sure. We have plenty of bread. I think we'll just start with a couple soldiers here then. Ideally, that won't put us in too bad of a spot. I love what this soundtrack is doing. It's evocative for sure. Alrighty. Well, we will start with 3 soldiers who will ideally go there. You know what? We'll go with 4 and then go 6 farmers. That sounds good to me. I can only describe this as pensive surf rock. Yeah. There's some contemplation to it for sure. Well, it looks like we're gonna get back 0 bread. My soldiers, no. Uh-oh. Okay. Safe. God, I love all of this. A menacing bird cage suddenly appears in front of the court. Your Majesty, I have notes on this foe. Let me know if you'd like to see them. Yes. Birdcage, a well-defended fortress, creates a moat at the start of each battle. Okay, that... Robin has notes on how the birdcage behaves in battle. Sure. Right, here's what my notes say. First, at the start of low tide, the birdcage will flood its surroundings with water. Following that, the birdcage will attack the court with birds. Fighting it may prove tricky. If it's always surrounded by water, the court soldiers will be unable to reach it. You agree. You will wonder if there's another approach the court could take. Either way, you thank Robin for the information. Wait, aren't some of the enemy courts empty? You've noticed the subtle difference between some of the enemy courts on the battlefield. While many enemy courts have soldiers prominently stationed outside their gates, there are also plenty of them that appear to be completely empty. You think you can maybe assume that these empty will not attack the court during the coming battle. Yes, you can assume that. Additionally, you can see when enemy soldiers will attack the court over here on the timeline. Even soldiers might be no threat if you can deal with their courts before they attack. Alright, well, how do we want to deal with this then? Your Majesty, look! There's a chest resting on that patch of land. We should be able to recover its contents as long as we remain in sight until low tide. Okay, that seems doable. Yeah, I think Pensive Surf Rock is a very appropriate way to describe it. Okay, well, that's a lot of birds. How do we want to deal with that? Oops. Classic match 3 conundrum. Especially having to worry about where you are in comparison to the enemies. I would really like it if I could actually get into a better position here, but you know, you take what you can get. More rocks, maybe? These multi-matches are working out well for us. Okay. So we'll go with... As low tide begins, the birdcage surrounds itself with a moat. Gather all manner of trinkets, treasures, trifles, and toys. A selection of goods for the taking. A bird. Offensive winged fairy, unhindered by terrain. Yeah, we'll take that. Gunboat. Offensive rock. Attacks the enemy via water. Okay, we'll take both of those. Chest is now empty. It's safe to shut it. Oh, we had 2 chests. Wonderful. Okay, well, let's make preparations for battle. We're definitely going to have to deal with some birds. One gunboat, a soldier. Maybe, hang on. We'll just, we'll start with 1 bird for each bird. A gunboat, soldier, farmers. That seems fine to me. I don't think I fully understand. Oh, I didn't click bird, I clicked soldier. Whoops! It's very kind of it to let you undo things. Yes. Having an undo button, kinda nice. Get them, my farmers. What is that? Monarch, offensive job, turn property damage into profit. Earn money when you destroy... Okay. That seems awfully convenient. Having escaped the birdcage, the court now arrives at its initial destination. Taking a spyglass to the top of the walls, you see if the sign ahead can give you any clues or directions. Dead end. Perfect. That's great for us. Oh, I know this one. It's a memento mori. I hear they're popular among mortals. This one is quite simple, perhaps even unrefined. It says dead end, so any mortal who reads it can remember exactly what awaits them at the end. In case they forgot? Precisely. I mean, kind of. Okay, well, where you're from, this sign generally means that you cannot proceed any further. As you say this, a gasp. Her Majesty is right. The court is not facing forward. We've been letting the tide carry us backwards ever since the feast. Dead end open inside. Dead end fairies inside. Well, in that case, how should you go about correcting that misalignment? The cat responds to this question by falling asleep on your lap. The beast is right. A good night's sleep should return the court to its default state. And so the court decides to retire early for the day. Okay, well, with time and repetition comes comfort. You feel your maximum level of comfort increase to 1. Okay. On the next morning, you awake in a strange bed. The bed is strange not just because it is not your usual bed, but because it is also not the bed you fell asleep in. Puck told you any room within the court might be the Queen's, so you parted with him at the first room you found that wasn't already occupied. A small chamber beneath a staircase, a twin-sized bed neighbored by a nightstand and a lamp, a small desk in the corner, no windows. Meanwhile, the bed you awake in is the queen-sized and contained within a spacious chamber that opens onto a balcony. Yeah, that's a much nicer looking bedroom. The balcony overlooks the courtyard of your new home. You appear to be roughly 5 stories above the ground. That's a lot for medieval sort of chambers. My bed chambers. What should I do here? Bookcase. A Spartan house for knowledge. Small bed. A bed fit for a monk. Place where a wall is not present, also known as a door. Nothing. As it happens, the void is quite unremarkable. Take stock of your possessions. What do we have in our teleportation to the court? You look over the scant possessions that were on your person when you arrived at the court. Everything appears to be where you left it, with one irritating exception. Sometime between your arrival and now, you have managed to misplace your keys. In a way, you suppose that you also managed to misplace the locks that those keys were intended for. Yeah, true. A mystery, admittedly, of much greater concern to you than the missing keys. Yeah, that seems a little more concerning. Misplacing your keys doesn't really matter if you don't have the locks for them anyways. Wait, there is the man named Puck. You have a lot to say to him. The man named Puck is just across the courtyard. Perfect, you have many things you wish to ask him. And he skedaddles away. Yet, as you draw near, he quickly exits the scene. You might be imagining it, but he appeared to retreat the moment he saw your approach. Alright. Let's investigate the dining hall then. Grab some breakfast? Alright, yeah, sure. In the light of day, the feasting hall more closely resembles a common dining room. Ah, yes. The perfect place to get a delicious meal. To begin your day with a brunch. You collect some breakfast from a buffet, then seek a table. You'd prefer to sit somewhere out of the way, near an exit, ideally hidden. You sit in the most nondescript location you can find, a corner near a trash bin. Ah, yes, where I sat in high school. Before you finished a bite, a whole host of fairy courtiers arrive with their meals and sit with you. They make idle conversation and a few honest attempts at answering your myriad questions, none of them successful. As you complete your meal, you idly note that your table is the most lively and boisterous table within the hall. You also note, idly, that despite his assurances that he would answer all your questions, the man called Puck remains nowhere to be seen. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. You got 10 bread. Alright, that's a good way to start our day. Okay, our office. Look out the window. Go to war. Okay, a man with a business proposition. Despite your coronation occurring only very recently, it appears that solicitors have already found their way into your office. Stealing all the dinner rolls to feed my soldiers. Are they still dinner rolls if you eat them at breakfast? Or is it just a breakfast roll? Little bird told me you're looking for some keys, Your Majesty. Actually, you are looking for your keys. Can you assume he knows their location? Oh well, I don't know about those keys. But what I do know is where you can find some more demo keys. This is so clever. This is such a fun way to be like, hey, if you want to play this game and sign up, like, get more news on it. Wink, wink. Demo keys? Dinner roll is a type of roll, to my understanding. Is a breakfast roll a different kind? At the end of the day, they're just rolls, right? Certainly not a Rolls Royce, though. That's right, real hot commodity, very exclusive, very hush-hush. As in, keys to the demo you're currently playing? You got it. I knew you were quick on this uptake, Your Majesty. Why would you need more demo keys? You're already playing the demo. But are your friends playing it? How about your family? Your workplace? Your local Girl Scout troop? I would love if I could get the youths playing a game like this. Get them actually thinking. Apparently a breakfast roll is like a cinnamon roll, but with breakfast foods inside instead of cinnamon and icing. Oh, okay. So like bacon and egg inside of the breakfast roll? Hey kid, wanna buy a demo key? Think about it, you could start a whole movement here. You could luxuriate in the adulation of your peers. Yeah, basically. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I've never heard of it before either. That feels like a very East Coast, maybe European thing. So he doesn't know where your actual keys are. Well, sounds like a no. Very well. You'll consider his proposal on your own time. Sure. But if you're interested, you gotta give him the passphrase. The passphrase is 3 billion kids in a trench coat. That'll let him know I sent you. Though I wouldn't delay if I were you. These things are going fast. That's a really clever way of being like, hey, streamers, please pay attention to my demo. We're doing neat things here. Window, a door for light, but not for you. And an office chair, a throne fit for a queen who has business to attend to. True. Let's look out the window. There's some dogs catching frisbees in the courtyard, just out of frame. That's very cute. The dogs catching frisbees. Neat. I love the way that dogs just contort to catch the frisbee too. It's getting late. You should see to the business of the day. Go to war? Do we need to? Go to war once more? Let's go see what... I guess we'll consult the map. A catapult? Blocked by hills? Flammable? A glass house? A fashionable seller of bespoke potions? Battlefield, an abstract representation of a single battlefield. Okay. And signage, dripping with symbolism. My border collie loved frisbee. Oh, I can only imagine how much a border collie loves playing frisbee. All right, well, let's go to war. After breakfast, the court goes to war. And as you ready yourself, a question. Your Majesty, is the intensity of a war just to your liking? If not, please feel free to adjust the thermostat. Make things easier on yourself. That's kind of nice. +1 comfort, increase the market transaction. What the hell is market? 1 up. Start with 2 mulligans. Very basic income of every low tide. Decrease shop prices. Start with an extra 10 wood. We'll just go as is. I'm not too concerned. Okay, so can you be certain that the court is facing the correct direction this time? Of course, Your Majesty. Observe that the sun is now rising rather than setting. Very well. You suppose you'll attempt to reach those signs again, although you doubt you'll find anything useful. Yeah, maybe not. This is 2 matches? Okay. Now, we continue to try and make ourselves more defensible. Ideally. Chest will be yours to open during low tide. Okay. Well, I've gotten rid of it, so goodbye. I don't need the chest. Where we're going, we don't need chests. Me after consulting my friend about top surgery. Is this anything? I could not tell you. I guess let's get more water. We desperately need more forests if we want to... If we would like to get soldiers. It's not like they removed your entire upper torso. Well, maybe the good ones don't. Where we're going, we don't need chests. I think this will put me in a good position. Yeah, there we go. More forests. I mean, none of these palaces actually are doing anything. Use both hands. Dark Souls be like, amazing chest ahead. Use both hands. Let's be real though, Guinevere, she is pretty well endowed, to say the least. There are 4 chests? My god. They're just handing them to us. I guess we just continue to... Okay, well, we got rid of all but one of them. 5 bucks on the ground. 5 smackers. Sell for $5. Yes, please. All right, well, let's make prep then. It's not like we have anybody to fight right now, so this isn't for anything. I just remembered it's in here and I wanted to see it. Yes, the Yippee creature is great. I love the Yippee creature. Yippee! Easy fight! No battles this day. The surf guitar just goes so hard. Like, we've only encountered, what, 2, 3 tracks in their entirety thus far? And I think all of them have been fun. Alright, into the next fight. Oh, I used all my water. Whoops. A tap on your shoulder. Robin points to a building in the distance. Your Majesty, that shop is neutral to this conflict. We should strongly consider stocking up on supplies. Of course, that's only if it stays in view. If it disappears before low tide, we'll have to wait until we pass another one. Shop is closed during high tide, but if you call them, you can check their inventory. What do you have for sale? However, before you can proceed, the voice on the line stops you and asks if you understand how money works. No, how does money work? You thought you understood a lot of things before your world shattered, and now you might as well understand nothing. Whoa, I don't need your life story, ma'am. I just gotta make sure you know where money comes from. Let me explain. First thing you gotta know is where money doesn't come from. You're probably used to getting stuff like bread, water, stone. Wait, which one is this one? Wood, stone during high tide, right? Well, that's not gonna work for money. Instead, you earn money by doing your job. You do have a job, right? You don't think you have a job. Oh, come on, I have caller ID, you know? I know you're a fancy fairy queen of a fancy fairy court fighting a fancy fairy war. That's totally a job. Have more confidence. So anyway, fairy queens usually earn their money by defeating their enemy on the battlefield. Just knock down those palaces and money will pop out. Oh yeah, you can also get some money by selling stuff, maybe to us, but doing your job is a surefire method. Phew. Now that I've given you the talk, how about I tell you what I have for sale? Gunboat, miner, centaur archer. Attacks from a distance, bested by mountains, a knight, defends the court, trades stone at market prices. Okay. Whoa there, lady. What part of work closed during high tide do you not get? Oops. Goodbye to the shop. Well, I just continue to make my situation worse, huh? Although, if we could get, you know, one more... Okay, there we go. Shop is back. The water at least palace protects our palace a bit more during this. Nothing is really standing out on the right side here for me to take advantage of. The match 3 is matching, huh? I mean, I guess I could do this. That would make it a lot more defensible for us. I don't think we need to, though. We just start with soldiers and deal with everything from there. Where's our match that we can get here? The match is matching. We have a lot of wheat paired up, but I guess we'll just move the palace. All right, the shop is open. Basic income. Yeah, 2 money each low tide. That seems good enough. An archer outpost. We could sell a little bit of wood. We need 4 money. Let's just buy an archer. Big shield. Okay, that seems good enough for me. And then we'll do battle. And then just make some more bread. Make bread while the sun is up. Having those archers right out the gate actually real useful for us. Just cutting swaths through these palaces, these enemy palaces. 4 dead. A billboard. Helpfully informs you of available goods and or services. Choppa. Yes. Is that a billboard in the middle of the battlefield? It's true, there appears to be a billboard of some sort among the scattered elements of the terrain. You go to the outer walls of the court to get a better look. You need law! says Robin. That thing gives me the creeps, Your Majesty. It's as if we're about to be sued just by looking at it. You agree? It might be best to look away lest you draw some unwanted legal attention. Yeah, that tracks with me. Blow it up. No lawyers. No lawyers allowed in this landscape. We want none of your troubles. None of the typical lawyer business in this household. Another structure wades into view in the distance. You suppose this is another? Look, Your Majesty, a temple of markets. Should you wish to pay your respects, it needs only stay. In view till low tide, correct? Correct, Your Brilliance Your brilliance continues to blind. Market forbids you from trading during high tide, but you can ask their forecasters to predict the future. At market price. Oh, it's just a bunch of. Oh, is it stocks? It's always stocks, isn't it? Doesn't seem to matter what game it is. There's always stocks. With how often it pops up, you'd think it'd be called the stalker market. Alright, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of individuals coming for us here. Alright, let's trade some assets too. Bread. 3 bread for 1 money. Sure, let's sell to 40. It's not like we need it that much. Better range from hills. Let's pop down 2 archers. We just don't have a whole lot of wood, so. Although, hang on. Let's do 1 archer, 2 soldiers, and then a bunch of farmers for me. That should be fine. The soldiers, they go to battle for me. They meet in the field. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hey, Archer? No, my farmers! And my home. Oh, that's fine. I can take a little damage. I can afford to. And now the court finds itself surrounded by catapults. To be perfectly precise, those appear to be trebuchets. Given that trebuchets are a subcategory of catapult, you don't see any reason why you can't just call them catapults. Very well, my queen. I retreat in the face of your overflowing wisdom. Oh boy, that's several. I would define that as about a few. A strange building comes into view. As you observe it, the phone in your office rings. Yeah, hey, Titanium Court? Your Majesty? I'm calling from the Glass House. Yeah, we sell potions. As our name suggests, we firmly oppose the act of throwing stones in any and all forms. Therefore, we'd like to offer you our full support to Titanium Court in your campaign against these stone-throwing trebuchets. To start, here's a pro tip, free of charge. Hills will block the projectiles fired by catapults. Just surround your court with hills and you'll be safe. And if that doesn't work, we sell a variety of instant-use potions that can help you deal with this threat. Give us a call sometime. We'll be happy to help. Click. Who was it, Your Majesty? You explained that it was a telemarketer, albeit one whose pitch might prove useful. Wow, rare. My political platform? No throwing stones. We love the Glass House for that. advertises itself as a seller of potions. Potion of Geology can make mountains out of molehills and other terrain. Set something on fire. Potion of Flood Insurance. They're pretty clever. They're pretty clever with that one. Statistically, a potion of teleport is the safest way to travel. Alright, well, I guess let's get rid of as many trebuchets as possible. Ideally, a couple, at the very least. Do both of these block? I don't know if I could say that they do, but we really need more water and wood. Feels like I'm playing Catan over here with how much of that I've been needing. Always in that need of wood, sheep, stone, wheat, you know, the whole thing, the whole shebang, really. I know it gets a lot of crap. I actually really like Catan. It's just a nice head empty kind of board game, in my opinion. Everybody already knows how to play it, so you don't need to worry about teaching everybody the rules to a game that they're going to play twice and then never touch again. I like it too. Yeah, it's a good game. Like, it's baby's first board game, sure, but that's fine. I love baby's first board game. I've only played it a couple of times, but I thought it was fun. Yeah, I think it's a great time. Let's go with 3, and then we'll just undo 2 of those. That seems fine to me. Get our archers to the hills so that they can bombard all of the trebuchets. Although I feel like hills shouldn't counter trebuchet, to be honest. Trebuchets strike me as the kind of thing that ignore hills, typically. In standard formation. The catapults continue their assault, although you note there is now slightly fewer of them hanging around. Let's go with the bottom first. Well, we're nice and sufficiently surrounded now, so don't need to worry about that. Our bread situation is fine. So I guess let's just try and get as much forest as possible. Oh yeah, I also didn't buy any potions last time. Whoopsie. This game has some serious steez. The longer I play, the more I'm like, yeah, this is a game that I think I will be getting on full release. Has a lot of charm to it. We're nice and surrounded here. So we could just... I think we could just get farmers and be fine. Call me farmersonly.com the way I'm sending this battle. Let's buy... Oh, okay, hang on. I don't think we actually need any of these potions. We're just gonna hold on to the money then. Just make bread. It's not like we got anything from destroying the trebuchets last time anyways. Can the mountains be destroyed? Or the hills, I guess? They don't seem to have any eyes, so I can't tell. The stop animation, all of this game just very charming. The tide washes away the last of the catapults. You appear to have weathered the storm. The threat of the catapults now eliminated, the glass house pulls up next to the court, and you receive another phone call. The salesman offers congratulations for your victory and asks if there's any further assistance he might provide. You answer immediately, asking if he knows a way for you to return home. Oh, definitely. Let's pull over somewhere and I'll draw you a map. The salesman shows you the map and explains the directions. Okay, you've seen this before, right? You have, but no one thus far has offered an explanation for any of it. You assumed it was some sort of map. Hey, it kinda is, but it changes every day, so I'd say it's more of a weather report. But it's pretty simple. Each of these rows is a battle. Within a given row, each column is a battlefield. Do you follow? Kind of. No, you don't. You'll figure it out. But importantly, did you know you can choose from 3 potential battlefields before every battle? No, you did not know that. Anyway, here's where you are right now, smack in the middle of the war. To get home, you're first going to have to make it to the end, which is right up here. Okay. Dragon's Lair, home to a predator, also the remains of a hatched egg. Before or after the dragon? After, of course. But making it to the end isn't enough. After that, you'll need to make an exit. Make an exit. Given the abstract nature of movement through the tide, would he be willing to elaborate on that? Oh yeah, it's confusing, right? These routes were conjured back in the 60s. Everyone was hopped up on allegory or something. Around here, making an exit means you gotta consciously leave the path you're on. You know, like you gotta fundamentally change as a person. Okay. This might be a long shot, but does he have any specific advice for how you might do that? Preferably in a safe and non-traumatizing way? Allegory, allegorier, allegorist. Yes, very much so. Do I ever, Your Majesty? That's our specialty. He sweeps his arms back to reveal a shelf of bottles under a marquee that reads love potions. Is he attempting to make a joke? Not at all. Nothing changes a person more than love. Okay, you take a deep breath. If his love potions function like those described in stories, i.e. forcing an individual to fall in love with a person they otherwise have no interest in, then you have absolutely no interest in them. Ellipses. Your Majesty, with all due respect, that's messed up. I don't sell anything like that. You've been hearing some weird rumors, huh? I blame my competition. Please, let me set the record straight. My potions cannot create love from nothing. They merely expand the love that already exists within you. Seeing your shoulders relax a bit, he continues with his pitch. Now, if you're new to love potions, I definitely recommend starting small. He pulls a potion off the shelf, like this one, full of love for something called baseball. This one is great for beginners. Yeah, I love baseball. The effects are really mild. Drink it and you'll end up liking this baseball just a bit more than you already do. That's it. You suppose that does sound relatively harmless. If he also thinks it will help you return home, you might as well give it a try. Baseball love potion is insane. Yes. The idea of drinking something and being like, I love baseball, is insane. Well, never mind. People drink beer and go, I love baseball all the time. Perfect. Oh, come on, put your wallet away. I'm not going to charge you anything for it. Just take it, please. I can't sell this. No one wants to like baseball. So true. It's just beer. It's just Coors Light. And so you return to the court with a new map of war and a single complimentary potion of liking baseball. That's a crazy potion. Ah, now you have a certain idea of what you're looking at here. Based on what the salesman told you, this is either a map or a weather report. Either way, the important thing is that you can choose which upcoming battle to traverse. Volcanoes, amenities, hospital, enemies, boats, goons. Extra water, missing woods, chests, catapults. Enemies, scamps. Probably a faster scout type unit. Let's just go with the hospital amenity. You notice that slightly different hills has made an appearance on the battlefield. You hate to ask, but those are definitely volcanoes, aren't they? Says Robin. Yes, Your Majesty. When those volcanoes erupt, their surroundings will take 8 parts of damage and burst into flame. Hello again. A quick clarification is now necessary. When Robin says the volcano surroundings take damage, that includes diagonal neighbors. Also, you can see when the volcanoes will erupt over here on the timeline. Also, please note that volcanoes actually match with standard hills for some reason. With this life-saving information now imparted, I will take my leave. Another sign. Another potential cultural misunderstanding? Yes! Children at play. Incredible. A sign that predates written language and is comprised entirely of a single hieroglyph. I must say, it's in remarkable condition for something so old, but what could it mean? Given the symbol, the scales tilting in the favor of one individual, it is clear this sign indicates the presence of social inequality within its vicinity. Is that so? How kind of this ancient civilization to offer a warning so we might avoid it. Avoid it? The court is literally a monarchy. Yes, well, this sign is there for a reason, wouldn't you say? They're not wrong. A medical establishment is offering to sell you hearts. Increase max HP and restore HP. The cost of reducing your max HP. Okay. Just like real life, surgery reduces your max HP. I really need forests to match, so I think those might be some of the most important. Oh, Pirate Cove. Produces gunboats that are restricted to water. Okay, well, the Pirate Cove is, I would say that is not a good thing for me to encounter. Signage dripping with symbolism. Positively dripping. There's the hospital again. I mean, priority goes to wood and then water, I guess. Like, it doesn't really matter. Sure, just get rid of the water, line everything up, get rid of as many of the palaces as possible. We can have the volcano destroy that. Does the gunboat actually... Will the gunboat be able to hit us? I could not tell you. I will. Now Nevertheless, okay, it will produce a gunboat. Then let's get 2 archers, 2 soldiers. Let's go with 3 soldiers and 4 farmers. That seems fine to me. Destroy the gunboat, please. Yeah, not even a chance to destroy it or come in. The volcano killed my soldiers. All of this, everything is on fire. My God. Which battlefield should we traverse? Unremarkable flora, so more water. Can find rare chests and markets. Will encounter centaurs and goons. Extra hills, missing water. I guess let's go with the standard. Okay, clubhouse. Produces quick and fragile scamps. Okay. They are the scout unit that I thought they would be. Storage unit? Storage unit remains locked. That may be a demo exclusive kind of deal. That would make sense to me. A chest to open during low tide. Yep. We definitely take those. Just every opportunity to get wood we should take. Although we are destroying our chests. I'm making my battle situation a lot worse by doing this, huh? Uh-oh. Okay, well, let's gather up our trinkets from the chest. The miner. Yep, and more stone. Okay. So let's start with a bunch of soldiers. And then maybe 2 farmers, 2 miners. That seems fine. If we can destroy as many of the clubhouses as soon as possible, that's good for us. Uh-oh, all of our soldiers are just going to the other side. No, my farmers! Uh-oh. I did not have a choice on where they went, so... Okay. For a short period of time after the court wakes each morning, it drifts through the tide alone, free from its relentless obligations to the battlefield. You found this time useful for exploring your surroundings. You feel as though you could use a shower. Yeah, we kind of screwed that one up a little bit, huh? Well, let's take a shower. In a surprising but not unwelcome twist, the court has fully functional modern plumbing. That's nice. Toilet, a throne fit for a queen who has business to attend to. And a sink. Oddly does not include a mirror. There is space for one, but it appears to have been removed. That would make sense. Mirrors are portals to the other world, I guess. Commonly in media. To your mild surprise, the shower, nay, the whole bathroom attached to your chambers is, to put it diplomatically, a bit shabby. Unlike the rest of your chambers, those which chose to stretch and grow with the size of your station, the bathroom remains small and intimate. If you are feeling less charitable, you might refer to it as claustrophobic. Also, the room is clearly built into the underside of a staircase. Various thumps and falls from above the ceiling provide ample evidence that this staircase is well traveled. You aren't complaining. Consider it a miraculous blessing that a fairy court outfitted with trappings of medieval Europe would also have a functional modern plumbing. You turn on the water and test it with your hand. Despite the shower's appearance, the temperature is consistently warm and water pressure is high. Just a completely normal, non-magical shower. Mediocre, even. You suspect that it will be a good reminder of what your life was like prior to absconding with a cohort of fairies. As you step inside and close the sliding door, you quickly retract the previous statement. The high water pressure, the subtle ringing noise produced by the shower head, the echoes of the footsteps from the ceiling, all of the above combine to create a cacophonous cocoon of sound and steam. If anything, this shower is perhaps the most magical object you've encountered in the court thus far. You let your mind drift for a while. Stream, not to be confused with steam. Soap. Water drops. Water in a fun size. Me when the hotel shower hits so good. Yes, the hotel shower. Some of the hotel showers do go great. Thought, fleeting and ever-present. Steam, soap, a collection of clean chemical reactions in a convenient container. Sure, we'll do some match 3 in this. Combine some thoughts. You go over the short list of things you have learned about the court in the time since your arrival. 1. Titanium Court is a royal fairy court, a place bound by ancient magic to withstand the tide, whatever that is. Combine as many thoughts as possible. Magic totally exists, by the way. Yeah, this court seems to be magical. So do fairies, just so we're clear. Yep. Lots and lots of fairies and magic and everything, really. You are, however, not a fairy. As a person who has lived a decidedly unmagical life up until this point, you are instead a mortal. I do be living that mortal life. One could say I live the life of an unknown mortal. No orchestra, unfortunately. Yet somehow your mortal status didn't disqualify you from being crowned queen of these fairies. I mean, somehow the magic benefits us in these moments. In fact, so far as you can tell, nothing will disqualify you from this royal office, not even your own opposition to holding it. No, that's kind of the thing about fairies. They love to play little tricks and pranks. As loath as you are to leave, you think you've spent enough time in the shower. I would agree. Alright, well, let's go explore the court further. There's Puck again, just down the hall. You spy the man Puck just down the hall. He does not appear to have noticed you yet. You're certain that if he had, he would already be making a hasty exit from your presence. Now might be a good time to follow him and observe for yourself what duties your steward is performing in lieu of offering you guidance. Let's spy on the guy. He's traversing. We are sprinting after him. Okay, this is getting a little tedious. Fortunately, you can click and hold the left mouse button to speed up these proceedings. Try it in battle, too. Meow. Chase this guy. Now here is a part of the court that you had not yet discovered. A vast library extends before you. This is a huge library. Oh, and a secret door. Wait. You suddenly realize with some annoyance that while you were gaping at the scenery, Puck managed to slip out of your sight. He slipped behind a bookcase, did he not? Maybe you can figure out how. You inspect the bookcase you think Puck slipped behind. It doesn't budge when you attempt to move it. Try removing a random selection of books from its shelves, but that also has no effect. This is surely a waste of time. You're not even sure this is the correct shelf. Alright, well. This guy. Puck, obviously a great member of the court. Observe some of the paintings. What do we have? How do you interpret this one? A fantasy of revenge. The subject is smashing his guitar, most probably out of a seething hatred for rock and roll. I think you misunderstand. I've heard it that the smashing represents his fervent passion for rock and roll. But how can that be? With his guitar smashed, surely he will find it difficult to participate in the day-to-day proceedings of rock and roll. You interject and suggest that the subject likely has another guitar at the ready. But the smashing might represent both his passion and his wealth of guitars. Her Majesty's theory is compelling, but the evidence is circumstantial. After all, this rhetorical secondary guitar is not featured in the painting. How can we be sure it exists? Perhaps the artist painted it somewhere in the negative space I've heard so much about. I suppose we'll need to keep an eye out for it. Fairies would be so literal about that. Well, it's not on the page. There's no second guitar, so... It's all hypothetical. Let's go to the dining hall again. Eat brekkie. Be surrounded by sycophants again. You silently absorb the conversation around you as you eat breakfast. You know, vehicular theology is not so ridiculous if you consider the car to be mostly a metaphor. But for what? What could such an outlandish and inconsistent set of myths possibly be a metaphor for? Perhaps the psychological armor we construct around our true selves? All for the conveyance of the soul to greater stages of enlightenment? It is not too hard to imagine. But aren't cars also allegedly beasts that devour naughty children who do not look both ways? There's something, they got something to say here. Yeah, if they wanted you to know something in art, you would tell, not show, obviously. I think this game has a lot to say about that. Well, I never said it was a perfect metaphor. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. You got 10 water. We're back to our office. Consult the map. What do we have? Okay, we have like 8 battles-ish. Well, the exact extent of what you're supposed to be doing here remains unclear. There is a growing list of things you think you should try to do. Recently, you've organized this list and placed it next to the ever-changing map for convenience. Achieve sufficient personal change that you can safely leave the court at night and achieve victory in the war. Okay, pretty easy to-do list, right? Those are just kind of overnight things. Oh yeah, you know, I changed as a person. I shower now. And then achieving victory in war. Not the easiest. The potion of liking baseball sits in the sunlight. Well, let's take the potion. You have yet to drink from the potion of liking baseball. One reason for that is your natural trepidation towards something that you will have been assured will change you. Another reason is that potion's instructions clearly state that, for best results, you should leave the potion in direct sunlight until it bubbles. Well, it's been sitting in your office collecting sunlight from the window since you brought it back. It is yet to start bubbling, so you continue to wait. Okay. Well, let's go to war again. After breakfast, the court goes to war. We can use our comfort for a variety of things. This game continues to be fascinating. There is a lot going on here, and it is fascinating. I guess we'll start with Thorns. Proceed at max comfort level 1. Sure. Volcanoes. Generic flora. Let's go with the generic flora so that we can actually get wood. The much needed wood. There are some catapults. I guess we'll just go with the tried and trues. The classic match 3. We got chests too. Ooh. Is there any way that I can deal with this catapult? Does not appear so. I can do this, I guess. All right. Well, there's somebody standing on that stump. You look toward the stump in the distance. A lone figure appears to be holding up a sign. Learn self-defense, $1. Oh, we should hold up, Your Majesty. The court is terrible at defending itself. Are you still gonna swap over, though? I think we're gonna go until close to the end of the demo, or at least we're gonna get through this map, if possible. If we get through this map, then we'll swap over to Zomboid. If not, then I guess, you know, that'll be the whole stream. Does it have an end? I think so. Let's pay for a lesson on self-defense. You suppose that $1 isn't that much. You could spare it merely to satiate your curiosity. You and your retinue gather around the stump, money in hand. Step right up, we'll start in a moment. As it happens, you aren't the only student present for today's lesson. That's right, I have the honor of being Sensei's #1 disciple. That doesn't mean anything, kid, and please, stop calling me that. The instructor turns to you. It's your first time here, right? Let me explain how this works. Basically, each lesson, I'm going to give you 1 card for self-defense, and then tell you how to use it. But the first thing you gotta know is, I'm not always going to be here to give you cards. If you really want to defend yourself, you're eventually going to need to find your own cards. Question, Sensei. Where can we find these cards? Haven't you been coming here for years, kid? You tell me. Sensei's answers possess so many meanings. True understanding still eludes me. Okay, look, kid, it's not a riddle. Normally, you just find self-defense cards in shops or chests. Got it? You nod. Shops? Chests? Anyway, why don't you start by choosing a card? A variety of different, yeah, we'll take a defensive fairy. You've gained the ability to produce knights. The knight card, huh? That's a great choice for beginners. Knights are pretty similar to soldiers, but instead of wandering off to attack your enemy, they stick close to your court and defend it. They're also tough. 1 knight can easily defeat 2 to 3 soldiers without any help. As for their weakness, well, you'll need a lot of food to deploy them. Also, you need to deploy new knights every battle if you want to keep using them. Otherwise, they're a rock-solid choice for self-defense. You've got a war going on right now, right? Why don't you try them out? Anyway, that's today's lesson. Any questions? Yes, Sensei. When you speak of deploying things, what could this mean? It means you need more training, kid. So true. So true. Chest full of bread and stone. Perfect stuff. All right, well, let's take 1 knight and then 2 soldiers and then make several. I mean, yeah, we'll just take several of the farmers too. Go get them, soldiers. I'm curious if we'll actually get much ROI our farmers this time. The hills and the forest just slow everybody down so much. Will everybody get back with at least one load of bread? Yeah, okay. That makes it worthwhile. I guess we'll continue to go for chess and wood. What do those signs say? Look through a spyglass from atop the walls of the court at the distant signs on the battlefield. No parking. A curious symbol, a magical glyph of some sort, but I am unfamiliar with its meaning. It appears to outlaw the letter P, yet it prevents me not from proclaiming provocations pertaining to the presence of P in any of my pronunciations. Perhaps. What do our scholars make of it? Pop answers the call of his profession. You are correct that it is a simple magical ward, but this is one of a mortal origin. Perhaps Her Majesty would care to explain us its purpose? He winks at you and then retreats from the conversation. Placed on the spot, you tentatively explain that this sign is attempting to prevent anyone from parking an automobile within its vicinity. Your courtiers appear to be highly amused by this explanation. Some of them even laugh out loud. Aha! So it's supposed to be warding off cars. Cars? A strange new mortal superstition, similar to an ogre or troll, but made of metal. Ah, I think I've heard of that. It's a bit nostalgic, is it not? Mortals used to use their magic to ward off fairies. Yes, I remember. It almost never worked, but it was probably less of a waste of time than this. Ha! Similar to an ogre or troll, yes. Cars. They probably, well, let's be real, they definitely take more lives than an ogre or troll. Quite. After all, at least fairies exist. Seeing the look on your face, he backtracks a bit. No offense is intended, Your Majesty. I'm certain if cars were real, this ward would be doing a fine job. Cars aren't real! Duh! Get it together, idiot. Cars aren't real and have never been real. This is the Archer Keep? Okay. I was curious what that was. We are not getting a ton of forests here. Here, we'll match this one, get more water, get a couple of chests. This is such an interesting take on the standard match 3 genre. Just has so much, like, each different element to make it so that you don't want to match this. You do want to match this. And then you have to be worried about your placement for your court, too. It's got some sauce, for sure. I'm having a great time. This is definitely going to be a game that I add to the repertoire. A shield, defensive rock, takes damage in place of your court. Okay. Then water and wood. Green hills, global broadcast. Hills reveal their true nature as forests. All hills become forests. Okay, that's an interesting little dealio. We'll go with 1 night, 3 soldiers, and then we have so much water. We might as well gather up as much forest, or gather up as much wheat as we can for bread. Get up, my soldiers. Destroy, destroy. Farmers, please. Now we have a decent amount of stone to go into this next one. More bread. Shop. Wormholes? Merges and grows when matched with other stuff. One might expect worms, but none are to be found. I feel like I gotta check out the wormhole though, right? Yeah, let's go check out the wormhole. You now notice that the battlefield is littered with a bunch of ominous... What are those? Are those wormholes? Worms, you say? Oh, worm? I'm not sure what to call them, Your Majesty, but those things are bad news. The tide seems to group with them and the enemy, but they never disappear when matched. Instead, they appear to merge with their neighbors, retaining every soldier those neighbors possess. If prayer actually worked, I would pray that we do not see them grow. They remain harmless as long as they're empty. Okay, yeah. Let's try and avoid that then. Egg zone. Egg zone? There are eggs over here. Alright, well. Bring me to the egg zone. What inventory does the shop have? Charm. I can buy archers and an outpost and a driller. Okay. So try not to deal with the wormhole if possible. Got it. Oh, worm? A wormhole? We're not getting very lucky with the stone here either. Uh-oh. The wormhole. It has retained a soldier. I guess that'll be enough for me. Okay, what's this egg zone? Mysterious egg is on the battlefield. You receive a fascinating offer from the egg zone that has appeared on the battlefield. Your Majesty, great to see you again. Still trying to get home? Anyways, I do have an offer for you. He gestures at the large pile of eggs on the battlefield. That's right, you can become the prouder owner of your very own football. Is he talking about the eggs? Eggs? What eggs? I've only got footballs here. They clearly look like eggs. Your Majesty, they most likely are American footballs. I hear those are shaped like eggs. Hey, if you're gonna call your football an egg, just call it an egg. Who am I to judge? The important part is, I'm prepared to part with one of these footballs for an incredibly low price. In fact, I'm prepared to pay you to take one with you. If he's willing to pay you to take one, there must be a downside to doing so. You'd like to know what it is. Well, raising a football is a big responsibility. Too big for me. But you seem like you've really got it together, Your Majesty. You govern a whole magical court. You command vast armies. You ask questions before agreeing to stuff. Can't think of anyone better suited to carrying one of these babies to victory. But, well, to answer your question, you know how the game of football works, right? You lose the ball, you get a penalty. I can't keep racking up these penalties, Your Majesty. I'm gonna go broke. But I doubt that will be a problem for you, so what do you say? You consider assuming guardianship of a football. Give me money. Collect the signing bonus along with the egg, thus assuming responsibility for shepherding it to victory. I'll be rooting for you. Oh no. Okay, I understand now. Let's purchase an archer. In an embarrassing turn of events, you're unable to complete the transaction because your hands are currently full. Well, it's your majesty's right and privilege to engage in queenly excess. You need to drop something if you want to hold something else. Okay, so how would you like to go about doing that? Allow me, when interacting with a shop or chest, simply click on your cards to offer them up for sale. That's the only way to get rid of your cards. You're welcome. Okay, we'll sell the shield. I don't think we need the green hills. I guess we'll take the driller too. And buy a couple of stone for cheap. And then buy the archer. Okay. So we'll buy you. Hang on. Undo that. We will send out 4 of you. We'll bring 2 of you. 2 miners, 2 archers. I don't think we need the archers, actually. Hang on. 2 archers, 2 of you, 2 of you, 2 of you. And then just a bunch of farmers. This should be sufficient, ideally. Oh, we can destroy the wormhole. I did not think that that was possible. Well, hopefully our soldiers can... Yeah, we're good. Never mind. This is a totally fine battle. Defending the egg. Defend them, my knights. Temperature of +1 Celsius. Okay, well, I did decide to make the game just a wee bit easier. Bring the football to the end zone. Ah, that's part of our to-do now. Extra hills, no water. With chests, archers, and goons. Yeah, we'll go with that. Well, the egg being right here is certainly something. We have the glass house again. Winter hill and some... Oh, okay. That's good. I now have to deal with 2 types of hill. Realizing that Hank is getting married. Just a little King of the Hill joke for you. I mean, I guess we can get those. This is not a great place for us to be, huh? This seems fine, actually. I can hear her saying, "To me, Peggy Hill." They have some very iconic voice work in King of the Hill. All right, open up the chest. Stone barricade. Defensive tradition, gain shields when you gather stone during battle. Well, we'll just sell it. We'll go with 2 of you, 2 of you, 2 of you, 2 of you. Gathers rock from the hill. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I think that should work. It seems like a pretty easy start for us. My egg took damage? When did it? Oh, it's taking damage from the archers. Oh, good. I'm going to lose because the archers are shooting my egg. That's bad. What penalty do I get for the egg being destroyed? What? You egg fires an arrow at him? Well, As the dust from the battle settles, it soon becomes clear that your football did not survive the ordeal. Your courtiers, showing a surprising amount of coordination, organize a short memorial service for the demolished ball. As Queen of the Court, you are naturally expected to deliver a eulogy. You do a brief overview of the ball's memorable qualities, including the fact that it clearly resembled an egg rather than a football, and express a passing regret for its untimely loss. That's it. Honestly, you don't see the need to put any effort beyond that. As the funeral concludes, you must now choose an appropriate penalty for losing the football. Forfeit all of our money, forfeit two of our resources? Rip football. Yeah. Let's just take the 10 damage. You accept the penalty and proceed sans ball. Birds. It's always birds. Birdhouse. Matches. Okay. Well, get those birdhouses out of here. Oh, hi, cat. The only birdhouse I want in this house is the one starring Robin Williams. I would say that that movie was quite good. Definitely stereotypical and something of a farce of the time, but oh, Misty, thank you. But it at least spread the message of positivity and the fact that queer people have always existed. What do we have in our chest? Ooh, water and a ranger. Defensive fairy that gathers wood from forests. At the cost of... Yeah, let's sell the driller. We'll take the ranger. Storage unit remains locked. Unfortunate. Okay, well, we'll start with 2 of you. A knight, 2 archers, and 4... Oh, we are... Hang on a second. Let's go with 2. We kind of need the bread. And this is not a good battle for us because we do not have easy bread accumulation potential. Good time for us to accumulate some wood though, so gotta take what we can get. Toppling towers making money. Tilted at the towers. All right. Woods, missing fields. We need the fields, so water is fine. Guess we'll take the hills. Catapults and goons, or catapults and... You know what? Hospital, please. They have max HP. Yeah, we have money too. We can take a little bit of bed rest. Shoe, a tremendous sneaker housing a real estate office. This game, there's always something with it. There's always something going on. I think if we get archers out fast enough, then this won't be an issue. Or we can just have everything work out in our favor there. I'll take that. Take woods. This game has some sauce. I really want to get through this and then be like, okay, well, that's all the demo that I can keep showing. I'm sure that the full release is going to have a lot of interesting stuff. And I will be looking forward to it. I will be looking forward to it with great interest. I don't really want to get rid of the hospital right now. Yeah, that'll work. We need bread. Does somebody live in that shoe? Well, you may have expected the giant shoe to be someone's personal residence. It actually houses a real estate office. And by purchasing real estate, you can lock individual tiles on the battlefield so they'll follow you to the next battlefield. Purchase a property, meaning it will follow you from battle to battle for 8 money. Yes. Yeah. Buy that. Can I buy more? I can. Okay, well, we'll purchase 2 pieces of real estate. Open up the chest. Double beam. Offensive spell, raise your entire row. That's interesting, but I will not be doing that. And then the hospital. Let's increase our max HP and take bed rest. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, into battle. We'll take a knight. Then we'll take 2 archers, 2 of you. And we'll accumulate as much bread as possible, ideally. Okay. I feel like we have a pretty well secured area. And we can make some money by defeating as many palaces as possible. Was that a cat knocking a glass off of the counter? That's a perfect destruction kind of thing. All right, fighting the dragon. No U-turn. No turning back. As the court moves motionlessly across the void, it suddenly encounters a neighbor. Your courtiers cry out in alarm. You spy a great dragon soaring above his lair in the distance. The legendary apex predator opens his mouth and addresses the court. Here is what he says. But before he can say anything, one of your courtiers approaches you nervously.
Your Majesty?
Yes?
Well,
What is it? Can't they see this is a bad time?
well, you've overstayed your,
Or what? What are they trying to tell you? Allow me. The fairies of the court are attempting to tell you that you've completed the demo. Wait, it's done? What about the dragon? Don't worry, your save file will be carried over to the full version of the game should you choose to purchase it. You'll be able to pick up exactly where you left off. Okay, but you'll probably have forgotten how most of this works by then.
we won't make you leave or anything.
They won't, but I will. Goodbye. I hope you enjoy the full game once it's available. Cinema. This whole deal is incredible. I love the pixel art. I love when it chooses to go between flat and not. And like just this, I think that the writing in this is very good. It's very tongue-in-cheek, very sarcastic, and very fun. I hope to see more of it, but In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and if you did, well, maybe you should put this game on your wish list. It's a good one. So that'll be all of Titanium Court for today. Let me just swap over. We'll do a little bit of Zomboid before the end of the stream. It's charming. Yes, I really like that game. It is extremely charming. It also has a soy jack on its primary Steam picture, which I think is incredibly funny. Hang on, I got it. There we go. Everybody loves a soy jack. It's like the initial concept of the soy jack, making fun of people because they're excited, like, oh, check it out, you can get this, you can get a soy what was it? It's like soy nuggets, soy chicken nuggets. I why make fun of those people? They're just happy about it. They're happy that they get the opportunity to eat soy, like soy nuggets, which is good. Let them enjoy things. Let everybody enjoy things. What was I doing last time? I was pretty overloaded with just about everything, if I remember. And we're also very much running out of M14 ammo, if I remember correctly as well. Yeah, we have a couple of magazines left, but not much. I mean, when there's non-meat chicken nuggets. Yeah, exactly. Be excited. Can I bathe? Yeah, we're pretty gross. We have a bit of time too. We might as well get clean. We do not have enough water to actually clean all of our clothing either. Well, we'll just stick with that. 2 in the morning, on the hunt for some food. Can eat some macaroni. You know what, let's pop open this veggie soup. How's our weight looking? We're continuing to lose weight. That's good. Can I just heat up my canned veggie soup? Me when I'm heating up my canned veggie soup. Stick it in the oven for a minute. Get a little bit of that microplastic seal into your food. Delicious. Okay, what were we? Where are we? Too dark to read. Too dark to read my ass. Oh my glorpness. Zombie slop. What's up, Bo? We're back with more zombie slop. We have so much more to do. We just got done doing the Titanium Court demo. And I'm a big fan. Zombie slop. Yes. Thank you for using the emote. I feel like I went through the effort of making... I've gone through the effort of making several emotes, and every one of them I'm like, no, no one uses them, so that's kind of sad. Ah, well. Maybe one day. Maybe one day people will actually use my definitely high effort streams. I use my points to get it every day. You are a gentle person and a scholar. I don't have Twitch culture in my brain. I prefer to use words. Sounds like slop to me. Emote slop, yes. You get it. Me, I'm emote slop. I would bow slop. Yes. Mid slop. Knife slop. It's all slop in this house. They hate slop. No, they like slop. I'm a born hater. You still like slop? Copium. At least the slop that I make for food. Because we do end up eating a lot of food slop. Food slop. Yes, exactly. Oh, another desert eagle, too. With no magazine? What the fuck? That's because I'm a good chef. Thank you. Somehow, in spite of it all, I inspired delicious food from my nonsensical beginnings. I gotta make sure to stay up on the water too. Holy water, God's medicine. Oh boy. This bathroom has 2 sinks. Yeah, it's a him and a hers set, I believe. Is that the term? I think that sounds right, but I couldn't tell you. Him and hers hand washing station. Yeah, that sounds right to me. I can dye my hair? God, that would be funny. Dead mouse. Yeah, you never seen a rotten, uncooked mouse in somebody's cabinet? Can you dye your beard, though? Ooh, I think you can. If I'm remembering correctly, you can dye your beard. I need to shave it first. Do you think this game has another dead rat? Dye the beard but not the hair, that's woke. There you go. Yeah, that is... You get it. You understand. I feel like it's kind of a huge waste of time and space to have the him and her hand washing stations, right? I'm in tune to what's woke. Oh no, are you a woke hunter? Jorts, jean shorts. Take the jorts. You want me to take the jorts? You know, I'm a woke gatherer. Is that like a hunter gatherer? Sure, hang on. How do the they're long. Okay, well, I'm going to keep wearing these, but if you're going by heterosexual standards, men getting ready is doing nothing. Men getting ready is 3 hours of makeup, so you really only need 1 sink. Kevin Smith huge jorts. Yes, the Jinkos. I love woke. Are you like a woke hunter gatherer? You hunt for it and gather it into yourself. Huge jorts is my drag queen name. That's actually that's a pretty good name. tequila and gin. Man, Huge Jorts would actually be a great, great drag name. It's got the camp for it, if nothing else. On that hunter-gatherer mindset, but for woke. Yes. I'm always hunting down woke. So I can gather it. So I can accumulate it and learn more. Learn more woke. Bible readings, the crucifixion. Really? I want to be the woker. I'm the wokler, baby. Every day I grow up in a society and I go, I'm becoming woke. Like the Joker, but woke. Yes, yes. We need that. We need the Joker, but woke. Every day I grow up in a society. We need more woke, not less woke, more woke. I'm in agreement with you. I am always saying we need more woke. It's just so funny to me that like idiots like Alex Jones and others, Ben Shapiro, are always talking about like, oh, that's woke, that's a problem. Ben Shapipu, yes. Yes, exactly. Morons like him are always going, well, we didn't do it like this before. Yeah, no shit. We haven't been hunter-gatherers for a hot minute either. Oh, man. The idea of... The idea of harvesting grains? That's woke. This is not hunter-gathering. That's woke. That's why we need to hunt and gather more woke. Exactly. Oh, things aren't the same way that they've always been. We have more gathering. The gathering of the zombie bows. Where are they at? I'm glad that they're hopping over the fence for me. That makes it easy to eliminate them. But yeah, it's just, isn't it just... Man, we don't understand what this is. It's just like... Such silly nonsense. It's like Asmongold being like, I don't like that. I don't get it, so I'm gonna make it everybody else's problem. Just let people enjoy things. If you want to dress up like a hot dog, go for it. I'm not gonna be offended. Oh, that's a lot of zombies. We are accumulating a horde of sorts. This is why we need to be efficient with our ammo. Should probably take a beta blocker of some kind, huh? Gotta deal with all these betas. Beta zombies. You can call me the Solid Snake of Zomboid. Because I'm taking... what's the... Is it like tryptophan or something? Not tryptophan. Get this beta shit off me. Yes. More like Sigma Snake. Okay, I'll +2 that one. Tryptophan? Yeah, he takes that in one of the games. I think it's the second one. No, I think he takes it in several of them. Tryptophan makes him Sleepy Snake. I don't remember the term, okay? I don't remember. Uh-oh. I'm out of ammo, and I have a large group of zombies after me. Snoozy Snake. That's the shit that's in Turkey. I thought that was hair transplants. Turkey slop. Turkey slop is just gravy, baby. And you know what they say, it's all gravy. Okay, well, it looks like we are out of ammo for our M14. So, I guess let's try and do our shotgun. We certainly have plenty of shells for the shotgun. Did our bullet bandolier? No, okay. Well, let's load up and get shotgunning. Where do I have all of those? We do have 5.56 as well, but we don't have a bunch of magazines like we did for the M14. Unfortunately. Pardon me. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm trying to reload my guns here. Gotta get rid of all of this. Come on. We do still have a Molotov, and we did pick up a metal baseball bat too. So that's we got a lot of options in how we want to deal with what's left of this town. Although I do... Oh, no, never mind. We have an M9. We don't have a ton of magazines for it, but we do have one. Yeah, we have... Oh, we have a couple. We can make it work. We have several boxes of shells. Oh, Bo, how did going to the cafe go, by the way? I hope that you and your boyfriend had a good time. Oh, wow, that's a loud gun. It was closed? No! They closed randomly. Ugh. Went to a diner instead and got burgers. Ooh, burger slop? Hella burger slop. Yes. Do we have everything? Yeah, we have enough here. The bandolier can only hold 16. Man, the shells are so heavy. Come on, zombies. double cheeseburger with extra pickles. You got the bacon quarter pounder with tater tots instead of fries, barbecue wings, and milkshakes. That sounds like a really good meal, actually. I could go for any one of those items and would be happy, but sounds like a feast for sure. Diner slop, yes. There's a diner around us that we go to on occasion. And sometimes a little bit of greasy spoon cooking just hits the spot. Nice, delicious diner slop. What was the last thing that we got there? I think every time we've gone, we end up getting burgers. Oh, okay. Our zombie horde is accumulating again. What are our stats looking like? We're getting pretty high on the aiming. Our reloading is getting pretty good, though. We're gonna need to take more beta blockers, I think. Do I have enough time to actually open up my boxes? I do. Call me the machine or the rage against the machine, because I got a pocket full of shells. I will say the M14 definitely was one of the more efficient ways to deal with the hordes that we were. The shotgun, very loud, lots of reloading. Maybe not the most efficient. Just a little bit of long-range arbitrage with the M14. Although we do still have an M16 too. I would love if we could... Oh, we're already at above 1,000 on the kill count. That's great. Man, the ragdoll is crazy. How many must we kill? How many people are in this fucking town? More beta blockers, please. Okay. You know what? Let's back it up just a little further. Zoom out a little bit more, too. Get them accumulated in a little bit closer of a pack. Make the shotgun a little bit more efficient. I don't feel like I don't feel like we've been making the most of the shotgun here. Yeah, we got a nice cluster of zombies. Very attracted to the sound. Making their way through. Do I not have more shells out? Man, the amount of bodies that we've got, just a lot of stank to it. Probably a little more stank than your average gym locker room, that's for sure. Although it's been a minute since I've actually been in a gym locker room. Are they still particularly stanky? Back in the days where I was in them a little bit more, it smelled very prominently of Axe body spray. Are we in pain? Are we doing... Are we actually getting muscle strain because we're blasting zombies with shotguns? Is that a new feature? We blasted through so many with the M14, and I didn't consider that could actually be an issue. That's a universal constant. Yeah, ever since the invention of Axe body spray, I feel that everyone everywhere has been suffering. Teenage boys just covering up their stank with some nasty ass deodorant. Let's pull out 2 more boxes of shells too. Alright, pop a reload. Pop what we can in the... We're drowsy already, too? How much pain... I mean, we're blasting zombies, for sure. And we're blasting a lot of them. How many shells could you put through a gun before your shoulder's just absolutely wrecked? Well, maybe we can take some painkillers for it. It's not like we don't have any. Where are they? Here we are. 5 of them? Sheesh. I'm glad we don't need to worry about expiration dates. At least for the pills. Man, we are not getting lucky with these generator manuals. Alas. Hello? Well. How are there any zombies in this town that haven't come out onto the street yet? My God. The liquor cabinet. Whiskey and tequila. Ooh. They were taking a nap. Yes. Is that person wearing, like, a party hat? They are. You know what? That's my party hat now. What a vibe. I feel like if I shot a shotgun, I'd die from the impact to my own body. If you brace properly, you can shoot guns from a very young age. It would definitely, like, you have to brace it into the shoulder. It would definitely hurt if you... There's only so many shots that you can do. Advice me telling my younger self before going to a party. There's only so many shots you can do. But yes. There's only so many shells that you could put through a gun before you would be extremely sore, though. I've done a wee bit of shooting in my time. Not a ton. I'm not a gun owner. I've just had the fortune to have people around me that have guns and share the time. I've yet to fire a shotgun. I want to do that at some point. You know, I may need to talk to my uncle and see if he would be willing to take us shooting sometime. I think he's the only one that I know of that has a gun. I have no clue what shooting a gun is like. I'm from lands where guns are heavily regulated. Yeah, you're better off for that, to be perfectly honest. It's a fun experience, but it's pretty terrifying knowing that you could get into a road rage incident and have people just decide, I'm going to pull a gun on you and kill you. Thought it was important to learn. It's kind of terrifying, though. Yeah, the ability to shoot lead very rapidly at other people. I'm going to say, generally worse for mankind. I'll go with generally worse. Canned tomato. Ooh, canned dog food. Yum, my favorite. Can I drink an entire carton of milk? Excuse me. I'm trying to do the gallon milk challenge in a stranger's house. I'm doing it in a stranger's house because I don't want to have to clean up the floor afterwards. Ooh, ice cream. Man, after the stream today, I'm definitely gonna go get some ice cream. I think the thought of drinking a whole gallon of milk grosses me out. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't like milk that much in the first place. But the idea of drinking an entire gallon of it is absolutely disgusting to me. I am not into that at all. I'm just not much of a milk drinker nowadays. Oh, Bo, if you're still here, I had this I thought of this idea before, and you mentioning you're collecting woke has brought it back up. But would the woke tag be a funny ad on the stream? Woke streamer? Or is it a little... Is it too potential for tongue-in-cheek? I'd stay away from that. Yeah, maybe. I think it's funny. Not everybody will appreciate the tongue-in-cheek. Yeah. Some people are allergic to the ideas of using rhetoric for anything other than telling people to fuck off. not everybody has the wit. I mean, I'm certainly not the wittiest individual, but some of the shit people say and do, I'm like, damn, I look like fucking Diogenes compared to these chuckle fucks. Then again, oh, there's a lot more Zambibos around. I love having the guns in this game just because it means I don't need to worry about not knowing where every zombie is by me. I will know. I will certainly know. Do a quick swivel. What was I saying? I've been trying to sharpen my wit just a little bit. I feel like fire's gun. They're standing right behind me, aren't they? Yes, I'm gonna become that kind of person. I'm gonna Irvington Gun Club. Hell yeah. I'm gonna become somebody that can only talk in Marvel quips. Or like the lazy, sarcastic writing. I hate that shit. It just feels so... If you do that, I'll be forced to kill you. And it would be deserved. A well-deserved, we'll call that suicide by words. Suicide by ideas. Why do I have a sack in here? Oh, there's the key. I think this thing is out of gas. This is a nice looking truck though. I may have to move some of my stuff over. Level 2 aiming. Yes. Big stuff. How big is my trunk now? Or unfortunately, the trucks don't have that much capacity compared to like shoving all of the junk into the trunk and then also sorry, the trunk and also the back seats of everything. The key to becoming a smartass who always has a stupid comment is to read things / consume that is like that, TBH. Yeah, I've definitely been encountering a lot of that in the books that I've been reading. Lots of quips. Reading the Dresden Files, it's a quip a minute. Also very quippy in, what's it called? The Unorthodox Chronicles. It's the Grimsby stuff. Yeah, but are they actually funny? I think that they're somewhat funny. I think my shirt just protected me again. No, my hat. These jerks, they keep robbing me of my fun headwear. Really, like you say, just it doesn't matter if it's particularly good on the quips, as long as you're consuming enough of them and like are coming up with your own reports on the fly as well. I feel like you've also got to have you got to live in your head enough to be able to be like, okay, what do I say if somebody hypothetically says something to me? I've been reading what's it called? Way of Kings, and there's a character called the King's Wit. And I'm a big fan of that character. They just make fun of everybody. They're straight up just a court jester. Just making fun of everybody in high society, which I'm like, yes, please. Make fun of these rich assholes. They don't get it. They will never get it. They take themselves too seriously. Somebody's got to remind them of the levity of reality. I'm not sure I want to be a jester, but I could be like a satirist. Yeah, I think being a satirist is probably the furthest that I could go into that realm as well. Jester is too whimsical for me. I'll be Voltaire. Yes. I'm just blasting here. Who cares? Am I out of shotgun shells? Maybe I should have cared. Our character is so tired. Shooting a gun all day would do that to you. It must smell just absolutely rank. So anyway, I stopped blasting. Out of ammo. Yes. You will catch me stopping blasting when I am out of ammo. Let's grab a couple of boxes of pistol ammo too. Where's that M9? Backseat? Yeah, also you probably stink of the gunpowder. Yeah. It would be just nasty. And gunpowder does stink. It's pretty gross. It is pretty gross how rank gunpowder gets. And it gets on fucking everything, too. Ooh, our reloading skill actually getting pretty good here. Okay. Just pop more rounds. Man, our character is just absolutely exhausted. We're putting him through the ringer today. Poor Sandy is dealing with shit. Did I grab those shotgun shells? I did. Okay. Good for us. We are approaching a good stopping point for the stream. Oh my god, there's so many. They just keep coming. Just like the years, they don't stop coming. I may need to go over a neighborhood and finish blasting. Oh shit. That was that's the first time I've seen a trip like that in a hot minute. Normally we can rush past enemies. No issue. Or Sandy needs a nap. Yeah, definitely. My god, there's so many. They don't stop. This would be such a nightmare to try and get everybody moved over properly. Like, just the sheer amount of circling that we need to do in order to get everybody gathered together enough to be able to even use the Molotov effectively. We'd need several Molotovs, at least. Somebody's always banging on the door. Come on, buddy. Can I please just stomp you to death? Cave your chest in, perhaps? No, come on. Is he dead? Oh, he is. Okay. We did cave in his chest. Perfect. Alrighty, well, that's a perfect stop point for... Why did I smash the window? This is a perfect stopping point for... Close the curtains, not smash the window. Anyways, we are going to have Sandy get some sleep. And we're at our 3 hours for today, so I think we're gonna go raid into somebody in just a second here. This stream has gone by fast. The titanium, what was it? Titanium Court? That's the one. Titanium Court, very good, very fun. I would highly recommend it if anybody wants. I can definitely give codes, but Anyways, let's go raid into who is live right now. Prey is still going with their first playthrough of Undertale. I think we're gonna raid into them today. But I've had a great stream. I've enjoyed everybody coming out. I appreciate y'all being here and say hi to Prey. Tell him he's doing it wrong. Or don't. Please don't do that, actually. I'm sure that's plenty annoying. Anyways, bye! Just stop streaming here.